Hello everybody. As Bangalore gears up for the Aero India show, I am happy to note that India Post 2 is promoting the same. Let's look at some covers related to Aero India, Aviation and other anniversaries related to aviation which have been etched through philately. The cover on the bottom left is a private cover produced during the Aero India show, which carries the postmark issued during Aero India 2019 in Bangalore. This is just one of the kinds of aviation covers in modern India. If we were to classify aviation covers in India, they can be classified as first flight covers carried to India, first flight covers carried from India, first flight covers carried within India which are addressed, and first flight covers carried within India which are unaddressed, and non-carried commemorative flight covers, airport inauguration covers, aero show anniversary and last flight covers. The cover that we see in this page on the bottom left is issued by the Airmail of Society of India in 1973 to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Wright brothers' first flight. And the cover that we see here commemorates the first Air India flight on 8 June 1948 from Bombay to London. Moving on, we have some examples of first flight covers carried to India here. Here we have a Sharjah to Bombay first flight cover from 1981 Air India addressed to the chairman of Air India. Here we have a first flight cover of Indian Airlines from Dhaka to Calcutta in 1972 on a Boeing 737 flight. Here we have a Lufthansa first flight cover from Singapore to Calcutta from 1969. And lastly, a Air India Airbus 787 Dreamliner from Doha to Mumbai. These are first flight covers carried from India. This is an example of Air India cover from Bombay to New York 1971, first flight cover from Calcutta to London on a Boeing 747 aircraft 1977, and lastly a first flight cover of Air India from Bombay to Bahrain 1960. These are some examples of first flight covers carried within India which are addressed to someone. For example, this cover was carried on a Star Air private airline from Kalburgi to Tirupati, addressed to the postmaster of Tirupati. Here is another example of a cover from Coimbatore to Delhi on the inaugural flight, and another one from Belgaum to Nasik. These are some examples of unaddressed covers. They are not particularly addressed to someone. This is a special flight cover, cine flight cover of when the AirAsia flight offered a special flight from Bangalore to Chennai for Rajinikanth fans to watch the first show of superstar Rajinikanth's movie Kabali. This is a first flight Indian Airlines inaugural cover from Calcutta to Bombay. It has a special cancellation of the flight. And another FTC. FTCs are generally not carried, but this one was. It's quite an oddity in this regard. These are covers which are not carried but still commemorate a flight, like this non-carried cover commemorates the first international flight from Indore. Here we have an Air India cover, private cover commemorating the 3 flights from Ukraine to India during the starting of the Ukraine-Russia war with a palindromic date 22nd February 2022. This is the souvenir of the first landing of the Airbus A300 in Mumbai, when it actually was not used by air companies in India but was a demonstration flight by Airbus on an Air France aircraft. These are examples of airport inauguration covers during the inauguration of Kurnool Airport, New Goa Airport, the 100th airport in India, the Pakyong Airport in Gangtok. This is the cover that we just began with, the Aero India cover. This is the last flight cover which commemorated the last Vistara flight from Kochi to Bangalore before Vistara was merged with Air India. It carries both the cancellations of Kochi and Bangalore. And lastly, a tribute to Charles Lindbergh, who was the first one to fly across the Atlantic. I hope you enjoyed this, and for those of who are interested in Philately, especially Aero Philately, Astro Philately, first flight covers, aviation covers, covers related to aviation, offer a very interesting world out there. Thank you.